Welcome to World Code Updates, your daily source for global events and breaking stories. The Luzon Strait buzzes with coordinated action, naval vessels slicing through the waves, radar systems scanning the horizon, and crews working in seamless unison. This is no ordinary day at sea. It's a display of vigilance and unity in one of the world's most strategic waterways. Philippine Coast Guard vessels now lead joint patrols with Australian and Japanese partners, forging a new era of cooperation. These patrols are more than symbolic. They're a message to the world that Manila is ready to defend its interests and those of its allies. This isn't just another drill, it's Manila stepping into a leadership role in Pacific security. Filipino officers coordinate complex maneuvers, demonstrating both skill and resolve. Once a junior partner, the Philippines is now directing patrols and asserting sovereignty in waters vital to global trade. The national flag rises high, a symbol of newfound confidence and determination. Filipino diplomats are more visible across the Pacific, speaking a language of shared history and climate vulnerability. They're building bridges with island nations, advocating for collective security and sustainable development. While the world watches the US-China rivalry, the Philippines is quietly becoming a central node in a new Pacific network. Evidence is everywhere: new trade deals, infrastructure projects, and a surge in foreign investment that's transforming skylines and economies. And it's not just about politics or economics. Cultural festivals celebrate Austronesian heritage, reminding everyone of the deep roots and shared traditions that bind the region together. This rise isn't loud or flashy, it's steady, rooted in history and geography. From bustling cities to quiet coastlines, the Philippines is drawing strength from its past while looking boldly to the future. The old narrative of struggle is fading. Where there was once hardship, there is now hope and ambition, as the nation reinvents itself for a new era. Now, the Philippines leverages its unique position as both Asian and Pacific, writing a new chapter as a pivotal regional player. Its voice carries weight in boardrooms and summits across the region. It's not a pawn anymore. It's a queen on the chessboard, moving with confidence, strategy, and vision. Filipino leaders are shaping the game, not just playing it. The Pacific's silent power is finding its voice, and Manila is at the heart of this transformation, guiding the conversation and setting the pace. Manila's influence is growing not by force but by forging connections and leading by example. Through diplomacy, collaboration, and shared goals, it's building a legacy of trust. The region is watching and following. Allies and neighbors alike are taking cues from Manila's assertive yet inclusive approach. The Philippines is finally realizing its potential, inspiring a new generation to dream bigger and reach further than ever before. To understand the Philippines' Pacific role, look back centuries. Long before Europeans, Filipinos were master seafarers, part of a vast Austronesian network stretching from Madagascar to Easter Island. This maritime heritage created deep, often forgotten links with Pacific Islanders, a sense of distant cousins rediscovering each other. The Spanish era made Manila a hub of the first global trade route, embedding a Pacific orientation in the Filipino psyche. American rule added another layer, connecting the Philippines with US Pacific territories and creating shared systems and migration patterns. These layers, Austronesian, Spanish, American, give the Philippines a unique, multifaceted identity. It's Asian, Latin, and Pacific, able to bridge cultures and politics like no other. This history isn't a burden, it's the nation's greatest diplomatic asset. The Philippines' rise feels less like ambition, more like destiny fulfilled. One of the most powerful, yet often overlooked connections between the Philippines and the Pacific Islands is their shared Christian faith. This spiritual bond runs deep, shaping values, traditions, and daily life across the region. The Philippines stands as Asia's largest Christian nation, while Christianity is the dominant faith throughout the Pacific. This creates a profound cultural resonance, fostering a sense of unity and belonging that transcends borders. Filipino missionaries, teachers, and healthcare workers are present in nearly every Pacific nation, building schools, running clinics, and forging strong people-to-people bonds that last for generations. For many Pacific Islanders, their very first positive encounter with a foreigner is often with a Filipino teacher or nurse, leaving a lasting impression of warmth and care. The Filipino diaspora is especially significant in places like Guam and Palau, where families, friendships, and economies are closely intertwined across the ocean. Remittances flow in both directions, binding communities together and providing vital support to families and local economies on both sides. This relationship isn't just about governments or trade deals, it's rooted in shared prayer, family ties, and the rhythms of daily life, from meals to community gatherings. When disaster strikes, support and compassion flow freely across borders, with communities coming together to help each other recover and rebuild. Pacific nations increasingly look to the Philippines for skilled workers, expertise, and a sense of solidarity that strengthens regional ties. These invisible threads of faith, family, and finance are now being formalized into strategic partnerships and official agreements. What began as cultural affinity is now blossoming into real regional alignment, as the next generation builds on these enduring connections. The Philippines is no longer just exporting people, it's exporting expertise and building connectivity. Manila aims to be the Pacific's logistics hub, upgrading ports and digital infrastructure to serve as transshipment points between Asia and the Pacific Islands. Trade agreements are expanding beyond ASEAN, opening new markets for Filipino businesses and creating economic interdependence. Filipino universities attract Pacific students, while Philippine media and culture gain popularity across the region. This is a new, proactive foreign policy, leveraging economic strength, skilled labor, and strategic location. Influence now comes through container ports, trade deals, and education, not just warships. Manila is building a network of partnerships for shared prosperity. The Philippines is playing the long game, and it's working. Regional integration is deepening, with Manila at the center. The Pacific's future is increasingly tied to the Philippines. The Filipino diaspora is a cornerstone of the Philippines' Pacific influence. Overseas Filipinos are unofficial ambassadors, cultural brokers, and economic engines across the Pacific. They fill critical skill gaps, build business connections, and act as living bridges between Manila and island nations. Community leaders offer unique insights, often more valuable than traditional diplomacy. Through daily life and cultural celebrations, Filipinos weave their heritage into the Pacific's social fabric, building goodwill. The government now actively engages the diaspora, turning scattered communities into a cohesive diplomatic network. Embassies support cultural events and trade missions, strengthening ties. The diaspora is no longer just a byproduct of migration, it's a central pillar of foreign policy. Filipino influence grows from the ground up, shaping the Pacific's future. Geography is destiny, and the Philippines sits at the crossroads of the Pacific and South China Sea. Its unique position, straddling two of the world's most important bodies of water, has shaped its history and continues to define its future. The nation commands vital sea lanes for global trade, serving as a gateway between East and West. Every year, thousands of ships pass through its waters, carrying goods, energy, and resources that fuel economies across the globe. This makes the Philippines indispensable in regional security and economic stability. Manila is leveraging this strategic location, not just for military alliances, but as a powerful bargaining chip for technology, investment, and support from multiple international partners. Its role as a diplomatic bridge is growing, attracting attention from both regional and global powers. The country is rapidly transforming into a logistics and communications hub, connecting Asia, Australia, and the Americas. New infrastructure projects are enhancing its ability to move goods and information swiftly across continents. Upgraded ports and undersea cables now make the Philippines a key node for both physical goods and digital data, strengthening its role in the global supply chain and the digital economy. National strategy now emphasizes maritime awareness, border security, and world-class infrastructure, ensuring the country can protect its interests and respond to new challenges. By developing both hard assets like ports and soft assets like skilled talent and technology, the Philippines is turning its geography into real power and influence. It's no longer just a territory to be fought over, it's an active player, shaping the flows of trade, security, and innovation across the Indo Pacific. Manila's geographic pivot is redefining its role in the region, positioning the Philippines as a central force in the future of the Indo Pacific. For decades, Philippine foreign policy revolved around its U.S. alliance. Now, Manila is building a web of security partnerships, moving from a hub-and-spoke model to a networked approach. Strategic agreements with Japan and Australia bring joint patrols and military cooperation, supplementing, not replacing, the U.S. alliance. This diversification gives Manila more options and leverage in a multipolar world. The Philippines now represents a coalition of like-minded maritime democracies counterbalancing larger powers. Partnerships extend beyond security to law enforcement, disaster relief, and economic ties with countries like India and France. Manila is becoming a partner of choice, confidently navigating a complex world. The Philippines is no longer just a treaty ally, it's a regional leader. The world's focus on US-China rivalry has overshadowed the rise of middle powers like the Philippines. Philippine influence isn't built on military might but on human connection, cultural affinity, and strategic geography. The Filipino diaspora, shared faith, and growing infrastructure don't make headlines, but they're reshaping the region. Old narratives of instability have masked the country's progress in diplomacy, military modernization, and economic stability. Being overlooked has allowed Manila to build influence quietly, without attracting opposition. But that era is ending. Its role in security and trade is now too significant to ignore. The Philippines' quiet rise is becoming one of the Pacific's most important stories. Those paying attention will understand the new regional dynamics. Manila is stepping into the spotlight. The Philippines still faces real challenges: corruption, poverty, and climate threats. But these hardships give it credibility as a leader among Pacific nations facing similar struggles. Filipino leaders speak from experience on disaster recovery and connecting remote islands. This shared fate creates powerful bonds with Pacific Island leaders. The Philippines offers practical solutions: disaster preparedness, coastal management, resilient infrastructure, drawn from its own hard-won lessons. It leads not as a donor, but as a fellow traveler. This empathy makes its partnerships more effective and welcome. The path forward is deeper cooperation: trade, education, security, and climate action. The Philippines is rising with the Pacific, forging a collective, resilient future. Its destiny is now tied to its island neighbors. Together, they shape a more secure and prosperous region.